We're getting ready. Promise.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Sorry we're late. Typically,
I told everybody to remember that it was daylight savings time, and I'm the one that didn't remember.
Go figure.
I thought that Mike had changed the time. I really did.
All right.
We got people coming on.
There's a couple, but this is gonna be pre-record. This is gonna be recorded and uploaded to Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. So, YouTube, TikTok, all that. Or we can't use that word. Yeah.
There's a lot of words we can't use.
Yeah, we are restricted.
I need to make a whole list and set them right there.
I did do that. I did.
Did you do that?
I did, but I'm still learning, so yeah.
You're the one that teaches me. Well, welcome everybody to Recovered Two Friends, One Path. My name is Jessica and I'm an addict.
My name is Kathy. I'm an alcoholic.
We're excited that y'all are here today. We're going to start talking about step 2 today, but before that, I'm going to pass it over to Kathy. We're going to do our disclaimer.
Yep, must do. All right. This is solely our opinion. We are not affiliated with any group or program. Our sole purpose is to help others fight an addiction and or alcoholism and to offer help on how we stay sober. It's 100% raw. It's 100% real. We do cuss. We do tell war stories. We do cry. We do laugh. But
we do recover.
All right. We're going to... Alexa, set alarm for 1 hour, please. All right.
Do we need to do it? Well, it only films for an hour. We probably need to do it for about 50 minutes.
Oh, it's so good. We'll get that. Whatever. We'll get it. We'll get it. All right. So,
I'm going to read step 2. Step 2 is that we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us from addiction or alcoholism.
Restore us to sanity.
Yes, restore us to sanity. Sanity is the main one.
Yeah, that is step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Now, with that being said, that's saying we're insane. And that we are. Because the true definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That is the true definition of insanity.
I was really insane, Kathy.
Oh, God. Girl.
And I believed that I was normal at the time. I believed that everything I did was completely sane. I had stuff planned out of how I was going to get more, and all of this stuff made sense to me at the time. And then when I finally sat back and got sober and looked at it, I saw just really how sick I was.
That's insane.
It is.
Imagine that. And that's something some people have a hard time with is, I'm not insane. I can control it. Okay. Well then, whenever you wake up and you have the shakes and you have to have that drink in order just to
get out of bed, go do your daily stuff. That is insane. It's kind of like watching a movie for the 50th time and expecting it to end differently.
Mufasa not to die.
That's really insane.
I mean, I'm going to watch Lion King again. Is it Mufasa that does?
Yes, Mufasa dies. Scar kills him.
Yeah, it's like, this time I watch it, Mufasa's not going to die. No, bitch, it is. He is. That's the insane part of alcoholism, addiction. So many different aspects of it is you have to admit that you're insane. I will admit I was insane. I thought, surely I can drink a beer because who can get drunk off a beer? My drink of choice was liquor.
Changing up your what you drink was the first thing that most people try, or what you do, or where you drink, who you drink with, how you drink it. Maybe if I don't chase it with Coca-Cola, it's going to be different.
Maybe if I drink just on days that end with Y.
Yes.
Maybe if I drink just at nighttime and not so much during the day. Maybe if I drink gin instead of tequila. Maybe if I drink
wine instead
of beer.
Or what if I go to this bar instead of this bar, or only drink afternoon,
or only drink at restaurants with my dinner and only having one.
That's a joke. That's insane to begin with, to believe that we are capable of only having one of anything. I've never had one Lay's potato chip. I've never had one of nothing.
I haven't either. Who can do that?
Not me.
Non-alcoholics. Not alcoholics.
Because if I could do that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all today with Kathy. I would be having my one drink and getting up and drinking with impunity and going on home.
Exactly. So, that's a big step that people have a hard time with, is admitting they're insane. And our allergy.
Doctor's opinion says that we have an allergy, which is an adverse reaction to something that you put in your body. Anything that is of abnormal. So when I put something in my body, I turn into somebody else. The allergy may manifest in someone differently. Like if I ate strawberries, I might get a rash.
If I was allergic to milk, I may get dysentery, diarrhea.
But everybody still has the same outcome. They are allergic to something they put in their body.
Alcoholics, we're allergic to alcohol. It manifests not as a rash, not as dysentery. Well, sometimes, little case of diarrhea. It manifests of, we can't stop at one. We're not capable. And we do not stop drinking until we are completely blackout. There's no stopping it. Our stopping usually is passing out.
Passing out. Yeah, I was the type, so I still have to say I'm an alcoholic, even though I'm an addict. But once I started, I'd say I'm a type B. I'm the type that once I started, I couldn't stop. I didn't have to have it every day. But once I had one, I was going to be knee walking drunk, puking, passing out, showing my ass, hoping that nobody called me the next day to tell me what I had done, type drunk. And it was awful, so embarrassing. It's that guilt, shame, and remorse.
The GSR, man, that shit is real. And whenever I tell you the GSR, that guilt, that shame, that remorse will get in your head and it will play. You have a resentment machine in your head.
Over and
over and over. It's like replay. And
only an insane person would continue to do it to themselves over and over and over again.
And there's people who are non-alcoholics that do the same behavior and expect different results.
With sugar and gaining weight, with sex and getting people pregnant. There's a list. Long as your arm, that anybody can have an addiction to something and be insane in their behaviors towards it.
And guess what? Working on realizing your problem, getting to believe that there is a higher power that can relieve you of that sanity, whether that sanity is buying new stuff, anything that makes you feel different about you.
Or if it becomes a problem in your life, takes over and starts to run you more than you run it.
People with phones, I say this all the time. People that sit there and do nothing but stay on their phones.
I was one of those people for a long time. Back in my addiction, I could not stay off my phone. And I had somebody that rode my butt about it and just made me want to stare at it even more. But yes, I was a serious phone addict.
I'm not. I could go without social media. The only reason I do social media is for this.
I did not have any social media till Kathy and I decided to do this. I turned it back on after that.
I did not really have any big platform. I think I had a TikTok, but it was just because somebody would send stuff to me, didn't post anything. That's just me. I prefer to, since I've become sober, I prefer to dedicate my time to learning how to help people, reading the book, listening to podcasts.
Working with sponsees.
Yes, you
Doing
know,
all the good stuff.
I love my sponsees. They're great.
They save your life more than you save theirs. I promise you. I learned that early on. Like, being your sponsor saves me every day. You don't even understand what it's like to what you do, because now you're a sponsor to help somebody else, because you can only keep it by giving it away.
Gotta give it away, and that's something that, you know, I was very reluctant, but that's going to be a totally different segment about a sponsee and a sponsor relationship, and how I was very reluctant. I feel differently now, but that's a totally different thing. Let's get back to step 2, if you would.
Yeah, well, I found something neat I want to read you guys. It says, newcomers to the program often find 2 main trouble spots in this step. The first is to believe in a higher power, as we've already remarked. The second is implied admission of insanity. When we first encountered these steps, many of us are wittingly or unwittingly have allowed ourselves to move quite far from anything spiritual. Many of us don't even like the word spiritual. Others don't understand its meaning. That's a big thing. For one reason or another, too many activities, too much attention to daily chores or struggles, too much emphasis on material concerns, we have separated spiritually from our lives, or at least from our consciousness. Perhaps we have prayed too many prayers and felt that they were not answered. Perhaps we have felt unworthy of our higher power's attention. I felt unworthy.
I do too.
I felt completely unworthy of sobriety, and I felt unworthy of the gifts that sobriety had, because I had really been awful during my addiction.
You blew shit up
All day long.
And
all
you know,
day long.
something that people have a hard time with is the whole God concept or the higher power. It's not a religious thing, it's a spiritual thing.
Because your God can be anything you want
it to be.
I love AA and NA so much, because it is the only place in the world where we do not fight about our gods. We all respect each other's gods. Mm-hmm. That's the only place I've ever been where people haven't fought over it. We go in and she'll be like, my God's that doorknob. And I'll be like, well, my God is George Burns. And somebody else has this, and this. And we all respect that. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Because your God is just your higher power as you
understand him.
Yes. I mean, my God, he's got that crooked smile like Sam Elliott.
Oh. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
And he sounds like Elvis Presley, you know.
So what do you...
And he is forgiving.
That's what I was about to say. What is his attributes?
Yes, he is forgiving. Mm-hmm. He is loving. He gives me grace whenever I don't give myself grace.
That's beautiful, Kathleen.
He tells me, hey, it's okay. Just don't take that drink. Because God, sobriety, family. And I have to put them in that order because, and people argue with me, oh, family should come first. Without my sobriety, I don't have a family.
That's right.
I'm working towards getting the rest of my family back at my pace.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. Mm-hmm. I'm working on that.
That's right.
And, you know, I haven't done a deep dive into my whole story, and that will come.
Yeah, both of us will have a segment where we tell our stories.
Mine right now is kind of in a legal standpoint.
It'll get there.
It will get there.
It'll get there.
But I will say that I am reaching towards, I am focusing on my kids and welcoming, you know, someone back in my life. And that will come sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will all materialize. That's all I'm going to say on that. Like I said, later on I'll get into my story. And, you know, once, once some things are said and done, that will be something. But back to step 2, we always veer off, but that's the
okay.
greatest thing
That's
about.
why it's called a podcast, because
Yeah,
we
Because
can
we
talk about whatever
we can
we
do
want.
whatever the hell we want to. I mean,
It says, we have been disappointed in God's eyes and have given up on him as we often felt he had given up on us. But I don't think that's the case ever.
I felt like God had given up on me. Because why else would God have taken my best friend Donna at such a young age? Why would he have taken this person and there, how dare you type of thing? Why would you let me
Were you angry
get
at
sick?
him?
Yes, I was angry. I was like, why would you do this? Why would you do that? All the bad shit that had happened, I would sit there and say, why did you let this happen? And it took me a long time to realize that, okay, this happens for a reason.
Yes.
And
There's a blessing in every lesson,
There-
and a lesson in every blessing. That's what I tell myself so that I can see another perspective.
I have to tell myself that very, very often because I have been thrown here the past month, well, the past 2 years, but especially the past few weeks, I've been thrown a lot of frozen lemons that have hit me right square in my fucking head and hit me in my face and been like boom, 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 and I'm just like, but you know what? I let those lemons thaw out, and I sit here quietly, and now I'm gonna make some fucking lemonade.
That's
And
how you do
it's
it.
gonna taste so good,
Refreshing.
without any alcohol in it, just straight up lemonade. You know, because that shit. If my life the past couple of years has not killed me, and the actions of other people besides myself has not killed me yet, then you know what? It's going to take a lot more to take me down because, I mean, they didn't
Look how
even
strong you are.
they
Look
did-
where you've come from. Look how strong you are. You didn't even know you had it, did
Well,
you?
that's hell nickname the Phoenix because you know what? I rise. We both do. And there's people that say, "Oh, you're a Phoenix." Yep.
Yes, we are.
Yep. Sure am.
Yes, ma'am.
You know.
It says right here, but thousands who have tried this program have succeeded once they really surrendered in step 1 to find or rediscover a higher power of their own understanding. Perhaps they were helped by the fact that no one in the program told them what God they should believe in. Quite the contrary, what they heard were countless suggestions that they found their own God. So I was told at one point that I could borrow a God if I didn't have one of mine. They found their own God. So I was told at one point that I could borrow a God if I didn't have one of my own. So I had a good friend named Tony in AA, and I love him, Miss Tony, dearly. He was a good man. And his God was George Burns from the movie Oh God. And, you know, it's an old movie, and George Burns was God, and he's sitting at his desk with his big, you know, cigar and, you know, dropping ashes on my head, and had a really good sense of humor. And so for a long time, that was my God. And I loved that you know, view of God, because my God has a sense of humor, and my God isn't all serious all the time. And, you know,
My God will slap me upside my head and say, "Look, bitch." And he calls me though.
he does call you bitch.
Yeah, he does.
Well, it's a loving thing, I'm sure.
It is. He'll say, "Look, bitch,
Pay attention. Wake up.
get back in your role. Get back in your lane. Calm your ass down."
I like that.
And he will. He will slap me. He will slap the sense out of me. But that's what I need, because I've been told that I'm stubborn.
No, not you.
That's what people say.
You don't believe it.
I'm not sure, but I've had multiple people tell me that. So it may be true. It may be.
Well, it says here that the number one thing is having to be willing to keep an open mind.
Yes. Whew. Whew. Yeah. And I've said this time and time again, it took becoming an alcoholic to get me in the same zip code as my God. You know, and talking about God, some people, group of drunks, G-O-D.
God, good orderly direction.
Exactly. You,
If we are willing to have our conscious blocks removed from our unconscious, for which many of us is where God resides, we'll do the rest and we'll eventually come to believe. It says here that, let me see where I can find it. Keep talking, I gotta find it.
well, let's talk about just drawing a blank.
Faith. Isn't faith the second step? Faith? Is it hope or faith?
The second step of what?
The, like the first one is honesty.
Honesty, purity. You're talking about the four absolutes.
No, not the four absolutes. Each step has a word.
You know what? You got me there.
I think it's hope.
You got me there.
The second step is hope because faith is the third one. And so
we're guessing
I
because
believe it is.
it's not right here. So I was thinking the four absolutes.
I think hope is the word that goes with the second step. And, that's where most people start to see that there is hope for their life and that they can change if they just try and to give themselves a little grace and to come to believe that there is something out there that's working. For a lot of us, alcohol and drugs was our higher power.
It was mine.
It controlled everything I did every day. My whole life was centered around that. Getting more, using more, when I could do it, when I couldn't, when I
If I got down to a half a handle, I was panicking. Because that may not be enough to last me throughout the night, and the liquor store didn't open up until late. So I was panicking. And yes, I did say handle. And I was panicking. I wanted to make sure I had enough. I had to make sure it was hidden well. Take the fish sticks out of the box, throw half of them away, put a couple of pints in, put the fish sticks back in. I had to make sure all this was done before I would go to sleep at night.
That's that insanity shit.
In the morning, I had that there. Because after I'd puke a couple of times and brush my teeth, I had to have that drink. Otherwise, I would
be sick all day.
I would shake so bad that
I wouldn't even get my kids ready for school if I didn't have some sitting on the nightstand for me to pick up and chew up and chase with a monster before I could get up and get ready.
I don't want to say I was lucky because I'm not saying that, so don't think that. My kids were grown before I decided to blow shit up. My kids were grown. Had that been my situation back when they were younger, there was no way I could have. I couldn't have. I could not have gotten them up, gotten them ready. I couldn't have kept a job to keep a roof over their head because I couldn't keep a job while I was drunk.
Could you imagine what your life would have been like if you had been alcoholic back then?
No, because I wouldn't be alive today.
That's right.
I would have died because it took me losing just about everything. I lost jobs, and I'm not talking about little mediocre jobs. I'm talking about...
Yeah, she's not talking about little bartending jobs. She's talking about like actual jobs with 401ks and shit.
I lost, gosh, I can't even tell you how many within a short period of time.
I remember when some of that was going on and you were calling me telling me you've been fired for this and that, and then you had to find another one. And
yeah, I was fired, and it was I had a job for over a decade. I was, and it was like, hey, and I have no hard feelings. It is what it is. But whenever I say jobs, I'm not talking about just flop. I'm talking about good jobs. I lost them. And, I was doing a speaker meeting one time, and this guy said, "Man, I thought I'd lost a lot of jobs."
She had told her story one night. I asked her to do it at a birthday party, and this guy walked up to her and was like, "Dang, I thought I was the only one that lost that many jobs. I guess not." So
Yeah.
it's a normal thing for alcoholics and addicts to lose jobs.
Oh, I lost them left and right. But you know what? As soon as I got out of rehab, I reached out to those people.
You made amends.
And I said, you know what? I was in a bad place. And I thought about the companies that I basically screwed over because they put faith in me to do something. And I felt so guilty. And you know what? They were like, "You're good. You're good."
It takes a lot to go and be honest and do that. It really does. That's good. I'll never forget. My problem was not losing jobs. My problem was defects cases. I had 18 defects cases in my life.
Holy shit.
2 substantiated, 18 defects cases. And that's between people calling, husbands calling, people getting mad, whatever.
Husbands.
Yeah, husbands. So I ended up having 18 defects cases. And that's between people calling, husbands calling, people getting mad, whatever.
Husbands.
Yeah, husbands. So I ended up having 18 defects cases, and one of the ones that was substantiated, I had this lady that was my defects woman, and like everyone else, I looked at her like the devil, and she was trying to kill me, and she was trying to take my kids and do this and do that. When I finally got sober, I sat back and thought about it and was like, that woman saved my life. And
we don't realize it at the time.
I took myself up to defects and said, "Can I speak to such and such?" And they brought her out, and I hugged her with all of my might and thanked her and was like, "Thank you for saving my life. Thank you for saving my kid's life. Thank you so much for doing this." When that happened, they had done all of our Thanksgiving. They gave Christmas gifts to my kids. They did all sorts of stuff. She got me into a rehab, She saved my life.
But at the time, she was the devil.
She was evil. I hated that woman. I wanted her out of my life. But when I got sober, I realized what she had done for me and my family. And to this day, I will never forget that woman. I'll never forget her.
That's good. That's a big step.
It's huge.
I mean, sitting there saying, "Hey, you saved me."
Mm-hmm.
Or she better yet, she guided you.
Yes, she did.
She guided you. Nobody saved you. You saved yourself, you and God.
That's right.
I mean,
without her aid, though, I probably would have never done anything, and I probably would have died in that bed. I was also in rehab one time, and I've been 6 times, and there were a bunch of girls, talking about their kids and all these people taking care of their children while they was in rehab, and oh, F this bitch and F her and da-da-da. And I sat back and thought about it. My husband has been with a woman since before I left him. And we don't have a great relationship. I really do have nothing against the woman, and I'm very grateful for her. And when all these women were sitting there talking all this shit on these guys, on their husbands, new ladies and this, I went and sat down and wrote that woman a letter and thanked her. And I was like, "Thank you for making sure my son brushes his teeth. And thank you for doing the job I can't do right now because I am an effed up individual and I'm too drunk and high to do so. Thank you for taking care of my son." And to this day, we don't speak, but I don't know if she ever read it. But I'm grateful for her.
And I literally had this conversation with someone. I'm not going to name names because we don't do that.
No.
But I had this conversation recently, and I literally told, I remember you, I had this conversation recently, and I literally told, I remember you telling the story last year to me about writing the lady a letter. And I was like, you know what? You need to thank that girl because she's doing for your kids what you can't right now while you're getting better.
That's right.
Thank her. Tell her thank you because she
don't have to.
Does not have to.
Mm-mm.
Thank her. And she said, "I already did." And I said, "That's huge. That's huge that you went ahead without being not told, but given advice to. She's like, I already have. And I was like, that's big. That's big. And remember that whenever something happens, this is going to be your go-to. Because not all women get along with their baby daddy, but they have to get along with the mom or the woman who's stepping in to take care of them.
And that's the woman that gets the most shit from us. And, you know, I'm telling you, I'm so grateful for that lady to this day. And if she does happen to watch this, thank you. You know,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
And, you know, a lot of us don't give credit where credit's due. And we're the ones out there wreaking havoc and ruining our children while somebody else is picking up the pieces.
God, yes. And then we sit there and say, how dare they?
That's the insanity. Ding, ding. That insanity we're just talking about. There it is.
There it is again. So there's never a reason. You can sit there. I mean, there's always a reason, but there's never an excuse. There's reasons behind why we do what we do. Some of them are buried down deep, and through counseling and working steps,
work.
that is how I've remained sober. Other people, different things. We don't sit there and push one thing, you know. Everybody's different. And the way, just at the end of the day, as long as you wake up and you're sober and you say, hey, keep me sober today.
Yeah, gotta pray. God help me stay sober today, and thank him every night.
And wash, rinse, repeat. Wake up the next morning. God, you think you could keep me sober for just one day at night? Thank you for keeping me sober.
I had a hard
That
time
morning.
praying that every morning and remembering to do so. So somebody told me at the time I was a smoker to put my cigarettes under the side of the bed. So when I got up, I had to be on my knees to get my cigarettes. And there I prayed. And I prayed on my knees every morning. You know, resentments are big. And I still pray for people that I resented years ago.
I do too. And, you know, I recently heard pray for them every night for 3 weeks. You may not mean it at first, but eventually you will mean it.
You do.
And once you pray for them,
Even
Don't-
if it's just God bless them.
yes,
Just God bless them. That's all you got to say. There was a girl that was in rehab with me a long time ago, and she had a phone, and she called my husband and told him everything I had said about everything in group. And I hated that girl. And the first time I ever prayed against somebody, the next night, her and some friends snuck out of rehab, went and got drunk. They got caught. And I was told to pray for that girl. And to this day, I still pray for her because I hated her so much. And to this day, I really mean it. I hope she has the best life ever. I hope that girl is so blessed that it's sickening.
I am in the process. I'm on about week, I don't know, 49
I'm in week 1,940 of our.
of praying for someone, for him to wake up, stop the insanity, stop the wash, rinse, repeat cycle. And I find myself saying, what the hell are you thinking? And blah, blah, blah. It's not my place. It's not my place. And so I had to let that resentment go. I had to tell this person, hey, I can't worry about you because you're not worried about yourself enough to stop the pattern of behavior, to stop the wash, rinse, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And once you let go of those resentments, yes, I will still pray for him every night.
Yeah.
I pray that he finds whatever he needs in his life to break his pattern. I had to break my pattern by getting sober. And I sat here and I waited. I learned to love myself.
That is key number one.
I learned to love and find my higher power. I learned all this stuff. And people take advantage of just sitting alone and talking with just God, your God, as you understand him. Because he's not going to lead me wrong. But people have that hard time because they don't want to be alone. They want to be on their phone. They want to have people around them. No.
Girl, I used to not even take a bath by my damn self. What are you talking about?
She is still, she's still getting there, but if she's...
I'm okay with being alone, but I still cannot drive a car by myself without being on the phone.
Or leave your house.
Right.
Because she forgets everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, I forgot so-and-so. I was like,
I gotta do better. I'm working. But I can take a bath by myself now. I can. I know.
Progress.
I know. It's good. I'm getting somewhere. But, we all have things that we have to work on. Slowly
We do.
but surely.
We do.
But you know
And
what the best thing is?
I bought her a key holder for Christmas because she was constantly losing her keys. I bought her a key holder.
I use it.
Put it up. She's like, I lost my key. Her things, keys, credit cards. I forgot
Keys,
where.
wallet.
Yeah.
Keys, wallet, and nicotine.
Yeah.
Keys, wallet, and nicotine.
She's working on it. She's a work in progress.
But today I didn't drink over it and I didn't use over it.
That's
so you know what? Beyond that, I can do
winning.
whatever.
She's winning. But like she said, she used to not even be able to take a bath by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge for you to be able to do that. Because guess what you're probably doing while you're taking a bath?
Praying, talking to God, talking to myself, doing what I need to do.
Exactly. And that's what I needed for the 9 months that I have been, well, I've been alone for a lot longer than 9 months, but without anyone here for the past 9 months, that's what I needed. I needed you to tell me, hey, I'm going to tell everybody not to text you if they need you to get in touch with me.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit me up once a day. You're going to take a mental break from the text messages, the phone calls, all that. You're going to put your phone
I recommend anyone do that for one day.
Yes.
One day.
It was so good to not have the phone calls, the text messages. And she went through, everybody was like, if you need her and it's an emergency, you get in touch with me because she's going to check in with me once a day.
Mm-hmm.
And she checks in on, we check on each other, but she wakes me up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you don't because,
Somebody stole my job, but it's okay.
But she does the 8 o'clock to say, hey, are you at work? Are you clocked in? Blah, blah, blah. And then the new boyfriend wakes me up to do the morning prayers.
Well, he's not real new now. Y'all been together a few minutes. It's getting there. It's growing. It's growing.
It's growing. But he makes sure that, he does prayers with me in the morning. Me and Piper, because, I've got Piper
We all
trained.
pray with Piper.
I've got Piper trained to where whenever I say prayer, she'll put her little paws down. And we sit there and we do that. And it's a glorious thing.
I do highly recommend, though, that everyone take a break from phones, from reality, from people, from everything, other than your family, of course. But take some time to just spend with God. If it's just 24 hours, 9 p.m. to 9 p.m., because it will completely reset your mind, body, spirit, all of that. You know what? I think I'm going to do that next week. I think next weekend, after all that stuff I do, y'all pray for me. I start my training next Monday for my peer support counseling thing. So I get to be a drug and alcohol person now. I'm so excited.
And whenever I say she called me and I was crying because she was so stressed about it. She's like, oh, the interview went horrible.
I didn't even know what I applied for. I didn't even know what it was.
And I said, Jessica, you got this. Stop. And she was like,
I didn't even know what I applied for. I didn't even know what it was.
And I said, Jessica, you got this. Stop. And she was like, the interview was horrible.
They woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Zoom call with 5 other people, and I was first. They have to answer questions. Y'all, I hadn't had coffee. nothing. I don't think I'd even really rub my eyes all that well.
But she got it, and now after we're done with the podcast, she's going to go leave her phone in here,
Yeah, and I'm going to read for about 30 minutes.
She's going to go into my nicely clean bedroom. I steam cleaned the carpet last night against doctor's orders, but it had to be done. And she's going to read her book.
I've got to have it done by next week. So let's get back on our step 2 here real quick, because we're getting close to the end here. Let's see here.
What book? Show them what book you're reading off of.
Okay, this is the 12 steps for everyone who really wants them in fine print. This book is really cool. I bought it a long time ago, back when I had already done all the AA and NA steps, and I was like, I just want to work steps, but I don't want it necessarily to be tied to alcoholism or whatever.
And if anybody wants to buy me this book, feel free,
I found this, I believe, at a thrift store somewhere. But yeah, we'll get you one. It's not a big deal. But anyway, it's for anybody. Both admission
Anybody.
of insanity and the beginning of a belief in a higher power require the essential ingredient of humility. Just as we need humiliation to surrender in the first step, so do we require humility in the second step to believe that a higher power can help us. In fact, humility is a recurring theme of the program. To a great extent, it was our lack of humility which got us into this insane position we are in, and in itself should help us to try another way, that of becoming humble. Like every part of this program, this is more easily said than done, but the one important reason why we need to attend numerous meetings, especially as newcomers, is to discover the blocks of humility within ourselves. We do this by listening to others who have had this similar blocks and by hearing how these were removed for and by them. We also need to do it by witnessing and by hearing how these were removed for and by them. We also need to do it by witnessing the warmth and serenity and joy which come to those who accept and live this program. By associating with such people at meetings, many other positive attitudes and their humility eventually rub off on us or sink into us. They are also contagious, just as were our previously acquired negative attitudes of gloom and pessimism. Step 2 is often called the hope step. I was right. Boom. Whereas in step 1, we feel hopeless, licked, beaten as we surrender. Step 2 gives us new hope as we begin to see that there is help available if we will just come to believe that there is a power greater than ourselves, which we can learn to use to solve all of our problems we have not been able to handle by ourselves. We no longer need to struggle alone. We can learn to build our faith in this power as others have done before us. We can learn to think of this power in any way which makes us comfortable. Father, friend, partner, infinitively loving, helpful, understanding, powerful, consistently close to us by and ready to help us whenever we ask. With a friend like that, how can we help but begin to feel at least a glimmer of hope?
Humility. Humble till you crumble.
That's right. Humility is huge in this program. We are not spiritual gurus. We are not, AA power people. We just want to help other people do what we did.
And again, we're not affiliated.
No. That's why I'm using this book, which is for anybody.
Anybody that we talk about has already given us disclosure, or not disclosures, but permission. And we don't do this to benefit anybody other than the person.
Than you that's listening. You that's listening that wants to hear it. Even if you're not an alcoholic or an addict, I'm sure that you can find something that Kathy and I have talked about that you understand, or that has hit home with you and been like, I've been there. And it may not necessarily be the alcohol. It could be anything, food or whatever. And
there's so many anonymouses.
Millions millions of them. We just want to help y'all. And in turn, it helps us.
It does.
Because we're giving it away. I'll never forget, because I'm not a sharer at meetings. It's a long story, why not? But I don't. So the first time I came in here and I shared some things, I left here feeling like $1 million, because I had gotten some things off my chest that I had not normally been able to share. I went to a meeting a couple weeks ago and I shared for the first time in a very long time. It was very quick, very brief, but it was there. I did it because I have to get over my own fears. That's another thing about this program is fear. You know, we got to get through that.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah. She had me write down my fears and I was like, snakes.
I don't like snakes either.
My biggest fear has always been
Snakes.
losing my home, being homeless. And I don't know why. It's not like I didn't grow up in a house from the time I was 5 up until I was 20-something, you know, and stuff like that. I was never moved from
Some
place
of our
to
fears
place,
don't
but-
have a reason behind them. They just are. Like, I'm scared to death that one of my kids are going to choke to death, and I carry one of those things that pops up out there, and I've never had a kid choke. Maybe it was a past life thing. I don't know. I just know that some of our fears are irrational, and some of them make no sense and come out of nowhere, and some of them are very rational and make plenty of sense to us. But I do know that I no longer let my fears run my life.
No. Occasionally I'll have those dreams and I'll wake up and, you know, she's been keeping track of my dreams whenever I do have those night terrors.
I'm trying to see if there's maybe something that, like, there's a reason, like maybe
Right.
something that may, like,
subconsciously going on in my
doing
mind.
it.
Still, snakes, yeah, no, I'll never, no.
I did try to beat that fear one time, and long story, but I did get drunk, and I was sitting on a friend's couch, and he had a snake named Lola. Lola was cute and snaky, and like I held her and tried to get over my fear. And you know what, to be honest with you, I don't feel as scared anymore. I still don't like them. They still scare me and jolt me when I see them, but they're like, they're living creatures too, and they have little hearts that beat, and they're,
Fuck that. Sorry.
I have to respect.
I respect them motherfuckers, but they better stay away from me. I'm just saying.
I don't do things with no legs. Like, I don't even mind a lizard.
That's
but
a
don't
no
give me a
broke.
snake.
That's a no broke. That thing could be a king snake. It'll kill me because it'll give me a heart attack, or either I'll fall running away from the damn thing, and you know, shit like that.
Dude, this just hit me. It says, why is my life so empty? Why do I feel so blah or miserable so much of the time? Why haven't I had the breaks others have had? Why aren't my material possessions more satisfying to me?
Because material possessions can be taken away.
But this 12 steps can't be taken from you. You can give it up.
Yeah.
But
Fuck
you-
those I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better about cussing. Material things to me. Okay.
I like to store up my treasures in heaven.
Material things. I'm not that one. I could care less. My saying is, at the end of the day, you're going to be buried 6 foot under just like me. I don't care if you got a new car. I don't care if you live in a mansion. I've always been that way.
Did you stay sober today?
I did.
So guess what? That's it. That's all
I've
that
always
matters.
said material things. Yes, I've had a husband that could buy me anything.
Right.
That could do this, do that. I don't care about that shit. Hell, the material things, I got what I need in my life. I have food for this week. Just joking. I have food. I have the essentials of coffee. Coffee isn't.
That is a number one essential.
That, to me, that is, yeah. I've got coffee. I've got creamer. I've got.
She's the only person I know that has gallons of creamer in her refrigerator.
And I go through about 3 or 4.
I've never seen no shit like that.
Yeah, I drink coffee a lot. But I make sure. And if I need something, I'm going to get out and I'm going to hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to work. And I'm going to get that. But I don't go out and blow money on materialistic things because I got what I need.
I'm so proud of you. I do want to say this live that Kathy has become 100% self-reliant in the last 9 months. And she has not had to depend on anyone for anything. How does that feel?
Oh, God, yeah. Oh.
That is another promise of this program.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about it.
I get to pick and choose who I want in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the glorious thing about it. If you're not in my life to bring positivity, serenity,
Peace, love,
peace,
joy.
all the good shit, if you're not in my life for that, bye-bye. And it's so easy whenever you do not have to depend on alcohol, drugs, another person. It is so easy to say, bye-bye, see you later. Because there's people who want back in my life, and I'm like, nope. But there's people that I'm working on that I need back in my life.
That's right.
Because they are essential. They are the puzzle piece to completion.
And as long as you keep doing what you're doing now,
sometimes quickly,
sometimes slowly, it will happen for you.
And it is. You know, one day my phone's going to ring and it's going to be, hey, Mom. You know?
It is. It's going to happen.
Oh, yes.
Can we ask Alexa?
Alexa, how long do we have? Alexa, how long do we have on our alarm?
You have 11 minutes left.
We got 11 minutes.
So really about 5 because we started at 5.
Let's go ahead and close it out with.
We gotta read some numbers for you guys.
Oh yes, we do. You go ahead and read those.
Yay! I get to do it today. So we have a helpline. It is 1-800-662-HELP HELP. 1-800-662-4357. We have findtreatment.gov. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, in a quarter or whatever it is. We have the Kratom helpline, which is 866-210-1303. And of course, the suicide and crisis lifeline is 988. 3 little numbers. They're easy. There's no reason you should not get help, y'all. Money should never be the problem. There are state-funded places. If you are looking for other numbers, y'all can always shoot us a message. We're willing to respond to y'all through Messenger as well.
Yes.
We love y'all. We want y'all to live a happy, joyous, and free life, just like the rest of us.
Yes. Most definitely.
And you are worthy of love. You are worthy of love from a higher power, and you deserve happiness.
You need happiness. You deserve to love yourself.
That's right.
And you know what? Speaking of love, if no one has told you today that they love you, remember,
we do. We love you so much. That's why we do this every single week. That's why we do this. We get here because we love y'all and we want y'all to live a life that is free from any addiction or alcohol. Yep.
All right, we're going to close it out with a serenity prayer. Piper, you want to come over?
Come on, Piper. You want to come pray?
Will you grab her?
Yeah.
Hold on. Piper just got groomed and
she's feeling a little naked.
I had a little minor procedure Friday at the hospital, and whenever I do, I'm hurting, and she feels that hurt, and you know that's she acts that way.
And then I also
thank you also to
I brought my top today.
Ruffs, and I'll have to look them up, but it's Ruffs and Wags off of Washington Street. It's a new dog groomer place. Piper,
they did a good job.
Piper looks so beautiful. They always do a great job. So shout out to Marissa on there. All right, let's close it out. God,
grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
We'll see y'all next week with step 3. Bye. Love y'all. Bye. I'm going to get you to shut it off because last time I messed it up.